community, looking at the latest talk and discussions, sharing with you my thoughts, ideas, theories, and adding on with some new interesting developments when it comes to the subreddit page. Interestingly enough, in recent time, I've actually been pretty focused on other areas within the case, more important people within the case, the sideline stuff, which people would call drama, and anything else in between, not really been focusing on, but others seem to make it up and think that that's what has been going on here, but far from the truth. However, I can give a little update here to explain what's happened in recent time, because I gave a mini heads up, and then there was more, I don't know if you'd call it breaking news, but a slight development change this morning, I believe it was, or really early hours of this morning, but obviously I woke up later because of the time zone difference, and a certain someone had a few words to say about me, and I've got their response on another little device nearby just there, and I'll be responding. Big shout out to Badger Life. Consistent, present again, first to comment. It's good to see. And what I will do, Badger Life, as a heads up, one of the days I will actually do a light-hearted video. Almost forgot what that was, but you know where I did a map, exploring on the map, Google Earth, checking out random places. I'll do that again, but I'll do it as a standalone video so it doesn't cause any harm within the Presgrove case. Obviously, significantly less people will show up to it, but you know, the people that want something light-hearted will be able to come and get it. So that's something to look out for. Hey, there we go, Badger responding. And kind of indirectly, because of looking at Oklahoma, besides Utah, because I'm sure Badger probably triggers a bit of PTSD when it comes to Utah with all the heavy focus back in the case back then, and the whiny, soggy individuals living nearby, and looking at all the random places. Well, pick a new state this time round, do Oklahoma. We've got Donna Power. I don't know if Donna Power has been present during the live before, but welcome anyway. So we've got Donna. Will the other Donna show up as well? We've got Robbie Taylor. Welcome. I'm just going to allow a few more people to join along. So there's a handful of people present, and then I can proceed onwards. We've got Andrea, consistent as well. Good individual. Welcome. I think Andrea may have seen the comments on my last video or two, kind of like with Chris Payette or something. It's been very interesting in recent time. We've had Travis Monson's mom call out Justin Roy on my channel. We've had JJ Bumpass call out Alicia on my channel just recently. And we've also had Chris call out Alicia on my channel in recent time. And it just so happens that Chris's comment magically disappeared. I didn't touch it, of course, but I do have a screenshot of it. I have it saved, and we'll do a separate video on that maybe tomorrow or the day after, depending. We've got George Sheridan, welcome. Because what I've learned, like with, yes, I have, doing well, that's good. Oh, maybe a new viewer, possibly Tanya, is that how you say it? Tanya P, welcome to the channel. Good that you're here. I think live streams kind of bring in newer people here and there. Interesting compared to maybe live premieres. Welcome to the 13 people and anyone else watching in the background. I've got the other device by the side of me with some of the screenshots which I can read out and check up on. Oh my god, so many notifications on there. Wow. Okay. So I could, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll give backstory, context to the Reddit situation, like, and then add on to where it's at right now, because enough people are joining now. So yeah, welcome Tanya, welcome Twilight Bagao, present. That's good. So maybe a couple of people have got like a heads up about the Reddit situation. I just think it's embarrassing, truly embarrassing behavior. And when there's embarrassing behavior, it does need to be looked at. And especially when I get dragged into it, I do need to defend myself. So that's exactly what I'm going to do as a live stream. So it's away from the normal videos. Welcome, George. So on the original subreddit page to do with Presgrove, administrator, if that's what you would even call it, the one that created the page, the owner, that being Excellent Spite, also known as Jen, is it Jen Zakuda or Sam? Donna, I wish Noah's case was done with so the truth would be out for him and his family. Tanya, yes, you said it right. There we go. I'm on a good roll already. Pronouncing people's names correctly for once. I'm okay, just a bit sleepy. And how are you? Okay. Yeah, so with the No Presgrove subreddit page, it was okay in the past, didn't have any problems, didn't have any trouble. It complemented the army page because it actually archived conversation screenshots which were forgotten about, hard to find, and reposted on Reddit. It was of good use, that, to be honest. Bergau, screw her, Raf, what a fake. I mean, in fairness, I mean, you've probably already seen the response, but, well, maybe not. But I'm going to read out Jen's response to me because I think it's pathetic, and then I can just make it clear. Might as well, whilst I'm here, to be honest, keep up to date with it. Badger, caught that pesky ground squirrel in my garden. One must defend themselves. Oh no. What's going to happen with the squirrel? Torture knowing, fair enough. At what point was there rocky, bumpy grounds on that Reddit page? Well, it's to be honest, it's hard to remember, to be honest. But yeah, oh Raf, I got all the screenshots between her and I now, since she came back to Facebook. Okay, interesting. Something I missed. Ooh, Badger, what have you missed? Welcome to anyone else that is joining along as we go. Andrea, oh, I missed the Reddit stuff. Well, what I'll do, Andrea, I'll give some kind of backstory as best as I can from my own experience. I will acknowledge comments shortly, but I'll just focus in for a second just so it's clear and understandable. Was it 2024 when the Reddit page may have been set up? Probably. I used it alongside the army page, archived conversations, screenshots, heavy about the Jasmine Milan snap of 341 at one point, really focused in on that. And the Jack situation of some screenshot conversations there. Bit of back and forth with the autopsy. You had opening map, who was, I think, labelled online as an unverified, was it pathologist or former coroner? Along that lines, an expert, but their attitude wasn't good whatsoever, unnecessary. A couple of petty people along the way constantly yapping on about me. I did bring it up here and there, either to the odd moderator or so. They kind of understood and were like, well, just keep on going. Then what happened was I stopped sharing my videos onto the Reddit page. I kept to myself, and also I forgot to share the videos on Reddit. Then Jen reached out and said, oh, are you okay? What's going on? We don't see any activity from you. What's happened? Are you okay? Which was positive. And I was like, well, you know, I've just forgotten and I don't want to cause any trouble. And this is what I will come across quite often in life. I will be the overcautious one. Yeah, I'm shy, but I'll be the overcautious one. I don't want to cause any trouble. I'll try to keep my head down, this and that. And I will be told, oh, it's okay. It'll be fine. You don't need to worry. Led into a false sense of security. They even created a custom flare or some kind of custom tag categorization on the subreddit called Warlike Ref, specifically set up for me, meaning that whenever I share videos, I can post it in that category so it doesn't get in the way of other stuff. And yet people were still complaining. Other Redditors, other users that obviously had obsessions and whiny behavior towards me, which, you know, unfortunate, but it happened. And just kept on going. Then slowly, here and there, I believe some of my posts were taken down, removed, and I was trying to figure out what was happening. Boss Babe, also known as, is it Suzanne Edenfield or something? Is it Suzanne or is it Elizabeth? Elizabeth or Suzanne Edenfield, whichever name it is, known as Boss Babe, was understanding from my point of view, and then out of nowhere they randomly turned on me, and we may have seen some of the comments already which I've documented on my channel, all out against me, out of nowhere, kind of random. Badger, I sure hope we can have time travel soon, then we can go into the future and stop certain people from even being conceived. Oh, yeah. Donna Power. Where is Donna Bond? She must know more, as she had the one boy in her house saying he found dead, and the man can't remember his name, about said get him off his land. Oh, I've not heard that before personally. Welcome to the 21 people present watching in the background. So yeah, Andrea, in terms of Reddit, Boss Babe turned on me randomly, but before that, my posts taken down, and you want to know what the reason was? Because it wasn't discussion worthy enough. And I know I've said that over and over again, but not everyone would have heard that already. And I like to be consistent, because it seems to be lacking in a case like this. It wasn't deemed as discussion worthy enough. Take in mind, Andrea, there was a time on that Reddit page I shared a video onto there about the Daily Mail article and the interview, so-called interview, which wasn't one, to do with Tyler Hardy and Daily Mail. Misinformation, disaster, bullet holes or whatever. It was eventually corrected, cleared up, misinformation, auto-checked, whatever. I then covered it, did my own video once it was resolved to some extent, and I provided my own understanding of, well, likely it may not be an interview, it might have just been notes and comments from elsewhere, and then attempted to make it look like an interview when it really wasn't. But besides all that, as soon as I did that post, the way people reacted compared to how people reacted the previous time, we'll get to that in a second. But Strawberry is present. Welcome, Strawberry. Good to see you. Yeah. So people posted or shared links, posts to do with the Daily Mail article when it was still classified as misinformation. It was kind of taken down. People said, oh, it's not a good idea. I then did it afterwards, and then people jumped on me. Strawberry, you only just showed live. Oh, is that so? Naughty YouTube, not notifying you. I wonder what's going on there. We got Sadie. Welcome. Good evening. It's good about your hair. I got told off like a naughty little boy because my Daily Mail analysis was deemed as misinformation, and I'm a bad person and I should know better. I should not be doing that. I should not be spreading misinformation. But all those people complaining didn't realize that what I covered was when it was corrected and there wasn't misinformation. I covered it late, but I covered it at the right time. People were still assuming and thinking that, oh, it must still be old news and the wrong news. It wasn't, it was under control. So people jump to conclusions then about me on Reddit. So when people jump in an impetuous way, it's a recipe for disaster from the get-go, because, you know, they're going to react that quick, going to turn on you that quick. Look how it can go from there on. See, I'm going to mention one example. It's what separates me from most humans, but it also is a dodgy example because of who it's about. But I will provide context. Sadie, our rosy little strawberry, definitely our little strawberry. And if anyone is watching, I think Strawberry is a little bit ill, whatever that is. If anyone wants to send any healing or any strawberry hearts, feel free to do so in the chat. A little bit under the weather. But besides that, oh God, I forgot what I was going to say now. Bloody hell. But yeah, in terms of that Daily Mail article and the way people reacted, jumping the gun, when it came to Vanessa Salazar, that was dodgy time, because my patience levels were good, my patient/holistic outlook was even better. It was, oh, for fuck's sake, that yapping bitch next door. Shut up. You want some old Roy Boy food? No, you probably choke on it. It might be a good idea. Said it. Let me guess, the light side was complaining. What about Reddit? Because on Reddit, I don't know who is who. Because on Reddit, you got custom random usernames. So it's hard to tell. But in terms of like how people can change up real quick, when it came to that messy situation of Vanessa Salazar being exposed on Facebook online about stealing a dog, and ex-boyfriend, also ex-military, also done bad things to them, and all kinds of dark stuff, whatever. And anyone that was friends with Vanessa Salazar at that time and then heard about the breaking news and being arrested or a warrant out for them, people turned up real quick on Vanessa. In terms of how that went, supposedly it was true. Then later it was proven to be false. Then Vanessa backed it up with her own evidence to defend her innocence. And then later it supposedly was true again. It was all over the place. But because I was, what do you call it? Because they were following my channel and kind of like messaging in a way. It's like, whilst everybody else turned on Vanessa Salazar for a certain period of time, I tried to remain balanced just in case something turned out not to be true. Didn't cause any problems towards me because it was under control. But, you know, when it came to that later point where Vanessa said they were upset with me and that I wasn't defending them at 24/7 all times, it's like, well, just remember what I did for you previously. Just remember when I was patient, when everybody turned their backs on you. It was one of those moments. But then again, it's like Justin Roy, when his back was up against the wall and a lot of people were going in at him, I was still patient and I still tried to be lenient towards him, just like some other people. And as lenient and as much as I do, these different humans do not acknowledge it. They forget about it down the line and then complain afterwards. Goldfish mentality. Yeah, make sure to send Strawberry healing messages so she gets better. George, don't forget Vanessa death threats that Michael Fallon and Justin Roy supported. Yeah, I mean, I've not seen that myself because I was probably busy doing other stuff. Interesting. Welcome to anyone else that has joined onwards, present. Just going a bit like an overview of different people, what we've come across with time, and it's just the factor and theme of if people, whether you're innocent or not, if people about and around that you know change quick on you when news comes out, you might have to reevaluate some stuff, as in you might think you're comfortable around people, but when something gets a bit difficult or goes a bit wrong, how will others react? Do they jump ship? Do they run away? Do they jump and pounce on you? Do they defend you in a unnatural way? See, that's the thing. If something bad happened to me on my channel, and if by some chance I was the problem, would I want people in an unnatural way defending me, kind of like a cult? No. I don't like the idea of people being brainwashed or me brainwashing people. I don't like that idea. And there have been some people along the way that have kind of pushed it in the sense that they wanted me to brainwash them, but I didn't want to do that because it's just not normal. George, Ref, those texts can be sent to you, Ari, Vanessa. Oh God, is it going to be like 500 of them? About 500,000 texts. I don't need that. But, you know, it's one of those things. What's happened has happened. We've not seen any reoccurrences since. But the theme of fake accounts, it's almost like a default starter pack of certain words. A decent stack. Well, got a couple of screenshots already to do with other stuff to focus in on at a time. But, you know, all I would say, 1 TB, oh bloody hell. The only thing that I would say is, when it came to Vanessa expecting me to defend them 24/7 at the cost of my own channel, that was a major red flag, personally. I wasn't going to put myself through that. Because you will get roadblocks along the way. As nice as someone may be, if there's a bit of a roadblock, got to be cautious. But anyway, I'm sure Andrea is pulling her hair out, wondering what the hell's going on with the Reddit situation. Where are we at with that stage? Well, when my posts were kind of taken down or put on hold or something, the very first response was, well, it's a difficult time. There's people that don't like it and there's resistance. We've got to balance it out. We've got to please the masses at the cost of Warlike Ref being a sacrificial lamb, in a way. Then posts were removed, then context eventually given, not discussion worthy enough, which was bollocks, in my opinion, absolute bollocks. And then I thought, well, if that's the case, there's no point being present. And then first time permanently banned from the page, was no reason given. I interpreted it as, oh, probably because it's tying in line with when Jen wants to shut the Reddit page down, close it down, and then call it a day, that's it. And in a way, it turned out I interpreted it correctly, even though I was lacking context. It just goes to show that even when I'm lacking context, I can still kind of be on the same wavelength as someone. It's interesting. And I do have some screenshots besides me, which there's no point me showing towards the camera because it'll be reversed. Everything's reversed or so. As for like text, like mirrored, I mean, does that, yeah, you see how the text is reversed? Not going to work. Oh, bloody hell, there's a fucking strawberry there. But besides that, I'll read it out to you. We'll go from there. Raw reaction and so on. Okay. So, yes, sir. Ready and waiting strawberry. There we go. My strawberry. So, what's really interesting about this, you can't see it on here, but it was a Reddit post on the Presgrove Reddit page about me, which is interesting because if my post and links aren't discussion worthy enough, and I have been kind of silenced or indirectly silenced, I used my wording specifically there, then why would someone do a dedicated post about me if I'm kind of on the naughty list in a way? Because it's a separate individual with a separate mind, different to maybe Jen Zakuda. And maybe that could, demonstrate internal conflict and divide. And once you get that, it becomes fractured, it can implode. Because I'm sure there was maybe Jam Sandwich and a few other people that were moderators or just members on that original subreddit page of No Presgrove, and they were kicked, removed, Yeah. So people were removed in the early days, like a mass exodus in some kind of sense. But yeah, a person called Accomplished Weak. And I think I've heard of that username before. I've never had any negative run-ins with them to my knowledge. I don't know if any of you have heard of the username Accomplished Weak. And that's on Reddit, the No Presgrove original subreddit page. And the post is titled Warlike Ref. Interesting. Please let Ref know that he's unbanned. It was nothing personal. I just didn't know where this subreddit was heading at the time. Thank you, viewers, and for being here seeking justice for Noah. The Reddit was on par with the army page, says Andrea. Is that Sam? In the early days, I was okay with the army page and the Reddit page, but of course, when it started going wrong with the army page is when I started, well, just continued my videos on YouTube as normal, but just a different audience of people came along. So I just did videos on other topics from a different side. That's all it was. But people from the Reddit page got a bit moany. But yeah, why is it? Not strands, a little bits of hair coming up. My hair's a bit loose. I've been dragged through a bush. Maybe a bit too many. Oh, there we go, Donna Bond. Did you know, Donna, there is another Donna in the live stream, if they're still present right now? But yeah, it's interesting. So that post on Reddit, which I didn't have access to because I couldn't see it, that particular post, screenshot taken by someone, and then they shared it with me as a heads up. And they also said that the Reddit page is here to stay and it's not being deleted. So kind of a good thing, but at the same time, is it really? When there's been previous posts removed or taken down, if it's all about archiving and then you've lost the archives or it's been removed down the line, it defeats the whole purpose of it all, really. But what I do want to say is, we got Brenda, big shout out to Brenda present. What I do want to say is, to say that Ref is unbanned from the Reddit page, yes, but when I looked at the notifications a day or two ago, whenever it was, it said I was pending to be accepted into the group. That might be because the page is private, and then when you're banned or, you're kicked out, and then if you're unbanned, you get an automatic invite request and you're waiting for it to be accepted. Okay, so what happened then from a week or two ago of when I was unbanned from the Reddit page till like today or so? Was it the 7th? What day is it today? The 10th. 7th today. Today, I guess today. Okay. So what happened about a week or two ago compared to today for me to get banned again? So I was banned first, then unbanned, but not joined back because it said it was pending, and then I've been permanently banned again. But this time there was a reason. The first time, no reason given. Nothing personalised in that sense, but it was to do with, didn't know what direction the subreddit was heading in, if it was going to close down or not. Yet I single-handedly acknowledged that possibility in my own video at the time for that full balance, that I had to do the job what other people couldn't be asked to do in terms of providing context. I wasn't even a part of the Reddit page at the time. I wasn't even a moderator at the time. I'm not even an admin. I'm not a captain. I'm not on the ship. I'm not in a submarine. I'm just floating around in the water because I'm Aquarius and I'm wet as fuck. But the reality is, somehow, I seem to be on the same wavelength as other people that had an idea of what was going on, and I was on the outside looking in with no idea, but I was on the same wavelength, so that really says a lot. Bloody hell. And I got a wonky lampshade in the background. Do we have anyone else present? Andrea, I was banned as well. I think we all were. Yeah, maybe in recent time a lot of people were banned, and if it was for no personal reasons but to do with unknown direction of the Reddit page, yeah, that makes sense, I get that. But I already interpreted it that way. Thank you, Strawberry. I'm a little bit thirsty, much appreciated. I already interpreted it with whatever video that I did. So I was on the same wavelength as these people, even though I wasn't in communication with them. So I did the right thing in how I reacted and responded to how I was banned at the time. Let's move on to Excellent Spite's response. So on the 7th of June, which was only a few days ago, Jen said, "Warlike Ref, can you please stop making videos about me? You are only fueling the fire and spreading lies about me. You do not know me, but my actions on my sub speak for themselves." Really? Is that Sam? Hopefully the audio is loud enough. I think Rebecca, Bailey and Carl said the audio was a little bit too quiet. I think when you've got a loud Strawberry in life, I think I just need to raise the volume just a little bit more. Isn't that right, Strawberry? Raise the volume a little bit louder, but then again, I'll probably get a dry throat. No, I was banned for not agreeing with the murder train. Or is that because you left a comment saying, "I disagree," and then they were like, "Well, how dare you," and then blocked you? See, with me, and humans like to say that I am very active, as in commenting. I do not comment on Facebook, never have done. I've hardly commented on Reddit as well, right? So it's a bit say, oh, there we go. We got Elizabeth Lynn. Big shout out to Elizabeth Lynn, a key individual on the channel and present during this live stream, which is good. Yeah, when I think about it now, Strawberry, It was the Noah Presgrove case, I believe, when I broke the record, personal record on my channel for the most people watching live. 158 people watching live. I don't know why, but it happened and it was very interesting. I can't be loud. My loudness has buggered off. It's buggered off, Strawberry. What, you're quiet? Bloody hell. There's a first for everything. Anyway. Andrea, yeah, I always discuss civilly, so no reason to ban me. Don't worry, Strawberry, I'll do the talking for you. I'll whisper as well. That's easier. Got some items present which may help you. Got some props as well, which I could use a bit later on. But we focus in at the moment. Not from choice. Not from choice. Is that the same mindset as with the handcuffs in the past? George, I'd like to see Chris, Pyatt, and Alicia go live. Oh boy. Did you know, George, that the comment left by Chris has since been deleted, either by him or by YouTube? I didn't touch it, but I do have a screenshot still. It was deleted. Oh God. Famous last words, Strawberry. Anyway, let's just focus in on what Excellent Spite said. Okay, so I'll just reiterate it again for anyone that didn't hear. Warlike Raf, can you please stop making videos about me? You are only fueling the fire and spreading lies about me. You do not know me, but my actions on my subreddit speak for themselves. Oh yeah, they do speak for themselves, and I wouldn't say it's all positive, if I'll be honest with you. So we're going to break it down bit by bit, and this is the first ever time, and people watching right now witnessing where Warlike Raf does a response but breaks it down bit by bit in an actual live stream and not a live premiere. So, don't worry, Strawberry, it gets worse in a second. We've got some other comments as well. Chris did respond to another viewer's comment. Oh, is that still present, though, on my channel? I noticed that his comment was deleted, removed. Seems Alicia sheet her panties. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Right, so for Excellent Spite to say, can you please stop making videos? This is the key word you got to understand. She says, don't make videos about me, adding fuel to the fire, spreading lies about me, my actions on my subreddit, me. I thought this was about Noah Presgrove. Contradicted themselves to an extent. His response was still there about an hour ago. Oh God, we better get a screenshot of it quick. Someone get a screenshot of it quick before it disappears like anything else. First of all, has Warlike Raf actually been making videos about Jen Zakuda in recent time? You ask me. I know the answer, but as witnesses and people watching right now, has Warlike Raf made any videos in recent time from even before the 7th of June 2025? Have I made videos about Jen Zakuda and the Reddit page primarily, specifically, if at all? You let me know. Raf, okay, so make videos about Jen's hubby instead. Oh, that police person. Strawberry says no. Strawberry is a witness because they've been very active and present during all the different videos. Brenda says no, you haven't, Warlike Raf. And maybe some other people will follow on with that. But that is the reality. I have not made any videos about Jen in recent time, nor the Reddit page. Might have made the odd little reference about Reddit in general, but that's because of being consistent, as like with anything, right? The last time I did some kind of coverage to do with Jen Zakuda was when Joyce Begau, either it was an update follow-up from what Michael Facecast was accusing Begau of, doxing or threatening behavior or bullying. Raf can always make, Raf can, oh my God, what's going on with my English? Raf, you can always make one about house. Well, you know what I'm going to do right now, Donna? I'm going to talk to that wall. Let's pretend this is Donna's house for a second. What am I doing in Donna's house? I don't know. Hi there, Donna. Nice to meet you. Where's your hand? I don't know. What a nice wall you have. Nicely patterned and very smooth. Maybe like one's skin. Is there any dog food on there? Can I eat it? Tastes a bit bland, if I be honest with you. But I can hear voices. Oh no. Oh no, it's lacking context. Floorboard's squeaking as well. Oh no. Oh no. Don't know the full story, doesn't matter. Got some dodgy screenshots, yeah. Oh yeah, we got Braille on the wall. I'll just decode it with my fingers. 500,000 emails here. 300,000 emails there. Scooby-Doo there. Dog food there. Complete mess. The hills have eyes, but the walls have many more. Wow. I've learned so much from talking to Donna's house. Whoa, I didn't see that comment just then. Never heard you doing that. Oh yeah, Sadie responding back to, I guess, videos to Jen Zakuda. So after touching Donna's wall, what can I conclude? It's smooth. It's got a silky shine surface upon it. It's patterned. It's green. The wall is green like a frog. So I think that's what we've concluded with. Wrong turn, more like, yeah, wrong turn into a dead end ditch where a pond is. And the frogs have mutated. So I have successfully spoken to Donna's house. Who let the frogs out? It was Donna all along. The waffles haven't quite burned yet, just the tips. If anyone else is very interested in me talking to walls, feel free to let me know in the comment section and I'll do that more often. I'll talk to the wardrobe next time. I'll talk to the door. I'll talk to the bed. I'm sure the bed has a lot of voices underneath the sheets. Mark, oh, we got Mark. Hey, I'm on the road. Schedule got crazy hectic. Hope all is well. Oh my God, Mark, you on the road? What, with Beauty Garimo? Okay. Anyway, besides that very exciting moment, even I'm too stoned for today. Don't tell me Ref has taken over yet again. I'm sure there'll be a conspiracy there. I wouldn't be surprised, Donna Bond, if people start making false claims that Warlight Ref is a drug dealer. That'll be another tick on the bingo card besides being a trafficker. I'm sure I'm going to break the record for doing the most stuff in this world without actually doing it. Mark, glad I caught you. No, not doing that well. I'm not doing that well. What do we have present? Well, I don't know. We don't have much present. Well, I've got an egg if you want one of them. If you want that, it's a bit bouncy. Anyway, might as well return back to what Jen was getting at. Can you please stop making videos about me? Now, I don't know where it is. I don't know if it was mentioned a bit above or a bit below. Something to do with you've ignored me or you've not acknowledged, you've not responded back, as in words. My words have been silent because I've been busy doing other stuff, but my actions speak louder than words, as in I've not done any videos since. Donna, my sister is my dealer and live well in Ardmore. Tell him to get stuffed. Okay. Mark, I meant doing well, but not doing well enough to have a beautiful woman with me. Okay. Right. Well, can you stop making videos about me? Why would Jen ask me to stop making videos about her when in the first place I never made videos all about her? It was compiled with other stuff as well as for a general theme and having bits in. And the last one that I did, as I said, was to do with Joyce Bergow responding to Jen Zakuda, some arrest in the past to do with supplying alcohol to an underage person, and basically highlighting that they should know better when it comes to the social hosting with a bit more of a leniency as well, and so on. And then Jen Zakuda either owned up to it or said, well, it doesn't matter, it's in the past, it's old news. And I basically said, well, isn't that a bit dismissive? Like kind of playing it down a little bit too much. And, you know, end of the day, that video was one of the last few ones that was done to do with them and the whole situation. And more importantly, I showed it from all perspectives, or at least what was present at the time, including what Jen had to say, and maybe even Michael Fay's Kaz when defending Jen. It was collective, and that seems to get forgotten about with humans, which is typical. So, ever since then, I've not made videos about Jen. So for Jen to say, can you stop making videos? Well, I followed through with that naturally before you even asked. So I don't know why you're asking now as of the 7th of June. If you have been doing your research on my channel, you would know before the 7th of June, and most definitely the 7th of June onwards, I've not been making any videos about Jen, nor the Reddit page, the exception of this one here, because obviously everything that's gone down, you kind of asking for it now when it comes to when I've got to defend myself naturally. What else do we have? I think Michael's sheeting his pants too. I think people need some clean sheets. Badger, you never made any all about her. Exactly. But narcissistic people hear their name and bam, it's all about them. Badger Life expert when it comes to acknowledging that, because Badger Life had to deal with very problematic people in the Dylan Brown's case community, that people out there had to do a word count on how many times their name came up in somebody else's live stream. 138 times here, 58 times there, 62 times here and there. Bob the Builder, Undead Zombie Horde, a lot, back and forth. Yeah, wild times yet again. Anyway, what else do we have? You are only fueling the fire and spreading lies about me. So what that means is, not that I'm creating the lies, but supposedly I'm aiding and assisting in spreading it from what other people have said, which would be the same probably mentality other people from the army page would have if it came to, oh, Melissa LeQuay on the army page, how could they be allowed in? Oh, very bad. They were never there. They were never a part of it. Warlike Raft, misinformation. How dare you? You're attacking the army page. Shut up. Calm down. Attacking the army. It's funny how I can use the simplest of words and people get really out the top when it comes in reaction. I can call someone dodgy and they react 10,000 times worse to that than if somebody else came along and said all the swear words possible. And it's like, it must be me, the messenger, the one that delivers the words. Lesser words have a greater impact upon the soul of someone, maybe. It came from Donna's house. Why does it came from Donna's house sounds like a rap record? I don't know. My house is such a bitch. Hold that thought, Donna Bond, because when a house is a bitch, it needs to be treated like one and put in place. So you wait there, Donna. Oh, probably a bit awkward for anyone joining now, out of context. Don't worry, it's all under control. We've got Cami Jane. Welcome. New viewer, possibly. Good to see. I'm late. YouTube didn't notify. That's okay. Because the thing is, Cami Strawberry had a few difficulties as well when it came to notifications. Who knows what's going on? But Donna Bond, don't go anywhere. Donna, are you looking at the screen right now? We need to deal with the wall. So you let me know, Donna Bond, if you're still active, present, and standing, and then I'll continue on. And if not, I'll just do it anyway. Okay. It might take a few business days to get a response. Okay. Get my leg over. Back and forth, stretch the body. Which one do we have? Oh, I've left them downstairs, that's why. But it's a good idea, it's good timing, because it means the tool that I use this time around will be practical and functional, because it won't cause as much damage. Mine's Strawberry. There we go. I'll do it about Donna's Bond, Donna's house. You know, act up. Yeah? Yeah? There we go. I don't know if Donna saw that or not. The walls are howling. In house defense, house is in therapy. Oh, Strawberry. Oh, no. This is the other version, Strawberry. You should know, really. You should be an expert by now. This is the XL. Okay? The other ones are elsewhere. Okay. Yeah, so welcome to Cami. Welcome, Cami. Donna's house is receiving therapy. Yeah. He needs an eye chart on the wall. What type of chart? A colour one? What type of colours are we having for an eye chart? Pink eyes, brown eyes, purple eyes, green eyes. Wasn't I once described as the Hulk? That I was going to transform into the Hulk at one point. You can double this up if you want. Come on, Donna. Yeah? Fucking hell, that burst my eardrum then. Wow. Donna, oh great, my nipple got hard with the bell and I tripped over it. Wait, what did you trip over? You tripped over the bell or you tripped over your nipple? How long is it? Yeah. But, you know, if one nipple's going to go hard, what about the other one? You can't leave one hanging. No. I mean, did you get that strawberry? Did you get that strawberry that Donna tripped over either her bell? Meds to the left. Meds to the left! What's to the right then? Donna, I still need to know, what did you trip over, the bell or the nipple? Because I'm very confused right now. And once again, Casey shows up at a dodgy time, talking about unusual stuff. Strawberry and that guy who I forgot his name. Who's that? Me? Oh my God. Donna Bond tripped over her own nipple. I'm jealous, not. Okay, well, you know, if you're going to be tripping over one, you might as well be tripping over both at the same time. So just hold on a second, Donna. Don't worry, we will return back to no Presgrove case in just a second. It's just got to tend to some additional business, okay? We're a bit floppy, stand up. So I missed them, I caught the edge. There we go. I've got really good with the motion and the wrist, but Cami, nipples have their own identity. They are individuals. Big shout out to Cami, has it under control, knows exactly what they're talking about. Yep, they've got a mind of their own. Oh, sorry, Strawberry. Was it a bit too hard, that? Don't worry, Casey, you're safe. Ref, which wrist? The dodgy one? Yes. Don't worry, I was careful. I've not hurt myself yet. My wrist is still okay. It clicked a little bit, but it's okay. As for my left wrist, I've not used that one as much. That sounded a bit weird, that. Donna, my nipple, nippy, what the fuck was that? I said that wrong. New nickname. Well, I've got no zip this time, so that makes a change. Oh, we got Danny. And I can't just read Danny's coming out in my normal voice because I know Danny is all about that Indian accent. Right, Mandro? What happened with you and Mrs. Vich? Mrs. Vich? Oh no, is this going to be another claim of being married to yet another person? Oh no. Danny, are you referring to Suzanne? Not Suzanne, bloody hell. Is it Suzanne? Susan. Danny, are you referring to Susan Vich, the sister-in-law to Kenny Vich? Yes, okay. So the last thing that happened was Susan Vich got emotionally overreactive over something so out of context, made no sense whatsoever. I did a response video. Thumbnail was piss poor, actually. It was one of the most piss poor amateur thumbnails I've ever created, just of my face. And as we know, when I show my face in a thumbnail, people will not be clicking, and it showed statistically. But besides that, they just overreacted. It was unnecessary, and it will be documented on my channel. I did do a response somewhere. You'll be able to find it, but not seen or heard much since, but not surprised. But then again, we've come across some other overly emotional humans in unnatural ways. It doesn't help. Wailing banshees, it just creates too much noise, suffocation. Anyway, I'm just going to return back to the Jen Sakuda situation, right? Do you think Kenny will ever be found? I mean, you could do like a discussion based on if Kenny Vich is in the desert, what are the chances of him being found compared to if he was alive out in the open in a different state, a different area? Is he more likely to be found in the desert, higher chances there, or higher chances of being found if he was alive to be out of the desert, living a new life? You'd think living a new life because there'd be more eyes on ground, possible cameras, surveillance, and desert area. You haven't got that. But the only advantage with the desert area, maybe compared to real life is still alive. You're moving about. You're not static. If you're in the desert and you've died, you're static, with the exception of bones being moved and spread by animals. Depends where you are and if you're preserved or not. Welcome to anyone else who's joined late. I'm interested in doing a Kenny Vich live stream just to see how many people do show up at one point. Well, I think he's long gone somewhere. The most important thing, Casey and Danny, is that before Kenny Vich went missing, there was that text conversation in which Kenny Vich was texting his nephew called Hunter Vich and said, I will set out searching for the cave. If I don't find it, I will hike north for 45 miles. There and back in total, or just one way? Open to interpretation. Has anyone hiked 45 miles on? No. So there's that. That's good to know, Danny. So there are things which I don't forget about, I do acknowledge and can always return back to in the future. As well, it's the language and wording by Kenny Vich, as in the reference of where the cave is located, contradictions there. The way he first mentioned it, that he came across the cave at or near Nellis Air Force Base. He probably should have meant to say Nellis Test Range, which is, near and within the Mojave Desert. Nellis Air Force Base, Nellis Army Base, whatever you want to call it, is closer to the outskirts of Las Vegas, and I think it's more east, and it's near to Frenchman Mountains. So you can definitely interpret it different there. I think it's odd that they found his phone, and I think that wasn't his, it might be a setup. Well, supposedly it was Kenny Vich's actual phone, but as for the condition of it, unknown of, and we need to know that. I do need to do a separate standalone deep discussion video about the reality of, was Kenny trying to tease us in a way? Maybe suicidal, maybe not wanting to be found, but ultimately he still teased us, as in leaving an item here and there, like, what, leaving clues? Why can't Facebook track the location of the Facebook call that took place from Kenny's account? I don't know if Susan ever followed up on that. I don't even know if Facebook's even capable of that. I don't know if it's one of those things where as time goes on, it gets harder to trace back if it wasn't done at the time directly. Hopefully Strawberry's okay in the background still. And hopefully Donna hasn't tripped over anymore. Well, for anyone else that's still watching, let's return back to Jen Sakuda, right? So, about adding fuel to the fire, spreading lies about me. I wouldn't say I was doing that because I provided context from what Jen was saying in defense of herself. So I provided that balance. If there was any misinformation, supposedly, it wasn't coming from my mouth, but I at least made the conscious idea to include her response, and even Michael Facecast when they were defending and she was defending herself, which should be good enough. I'm here, that's good. That's good, you relax, or whatever. If you need a drink, there you go. Tell me when to stop, Strawberry. I don't want to waterboard or drown you, okay? Open your mouth. So, yeah, when Jen says, you do not know me, but my actions on my subs speak for themselves. Tell me when, Strawberry. Tell me when to stop. Still going. But yeah, you must be very thirsty. You do not know about me. That is a frequently used line. There we go. That is a frequently used line where people say, you don't know anything about me. You don't know me. Really? Is that Sam? See, the reality is, what's been shown with time, demonstrated through my own experiences and encounters and other humans, witnesses along the way, is that when Warlike Ref descended upon this earth at some point or another, with time and with some people, it turned out reality was I know more about people than they know of themselves, to the point where some people have been rather shocked and a couple possibly terrified. In that, what I can see the mechanisms within, the causes and effects, the roots, the origins of it all with perspective, possible guidance in a natural way. I can see the functions and the dysfunctions. I don't need much information to go off from it. I don't need many examples or context, but of course it is always welcome because context goes a long way. But in my experiences with others over time and in the past, quite often humans did it in such a way, probably unaware, it was more so a guessing game. I always had to guess. I always had to try and figure it out in my mind what's going on here or there for that action, that reaction, that lack of action, that quietness, that silentness, whatever it is. Always left guessing because people couldn't be asked to give context. And I'm not talking about strangers, because if it was strangers, of course you don't expect much from them. But through that, and I guess through trying to figure things out when context wasn't there, got used to it, some humans became predictable as well. And then there was just a pattern to it all. And then if you hear about a certain event, a certain concept, one thing could link with another, it clicks, and you get a better idea. I may not know Gen Zakuda, but do I really need to know them to know what they are or what they're about? To some extent. Because as I said, sometimes I know more about people know of themselves. And to be honest, oh, we've got a new person present, Janet Chavira. The M Cave is on Picture Canyon. Supposedly. Are you talking about the covered M Cave, the shallow M Cave, the M-shaped cave, or the M-shaped cave higher up on the left-hand side, which Jeff Clark only documented? Daniel, what would you do if Kenny was talking in an Indian accent? Oh, bloody hell. You'll probably start triggering my Indian accent, and I don't think that's a good idea, that. Bloody hell, Danny, was it you that said my accent is very explosive? Strawberry, you do know more, Ref. Appreciate that. But this is what separates one from all, is that if ever in a position where you may know more or know some, which others don't, how do you handle it? Because if you know stuff, if you handle things, in a way, power dynamics shift. You got to be very careful with that, because it could make or break someone. Danny, Andrew, why would Kenny go? Oh, I don't know, I keep talking in that accent. Why would Kenny go into the store and take items without hiding his identity in any way in 2018 CCTV, in 2018 one? Well, honestly, Kenny Vich couldn't even label or correctly name locations he was familiar with after being on several hikes to that area, as in Jermay Canyon. He couldn't even label it correctly. He was a bit all over the place. He didn't take precaution. He didn't take his GPS and all of that. It was just winging it, maybe not quite thinking it through at times. If that's down to his personality, reactionary, you could argue and say maybe that's how it was with the CCTV. Break him. You could argue, and it's a bit of a push, maybe a level of invincibility that, you know, I'm breaking into my sister Debbie Vich's family-run store. If they're going to see me, they'll know me, and then they won't follow up on it. If I was to wear a mask or hide my identity, then likely they would want to pursue it because they want to know who the identity of that person is. And if it's a stranger, justice. If it's a familiar face, friend, or family member, well, we might go more lenient on them. That's what I was thinking. If Kenny Vich shows his face and who he is in that footage, the people watching the footage back, as in the family members that run the store, they're going to be like, oh shit, it's Kenny. Oh, our Kenny Vich. Well, we're not going to pursue that because we don't want him to get in any trouble. And in addition, when it comes to Kenny Vich in that situation, and at some point, some of Kenny Vich's family members reacted to CCTV footage and immediately said, "Oh my God, that's Kenny Vich. That's my dad," as the daughter Vicky Vich had said. But then at a later point, they actually retracted it and said, "No, it's not," or "I don't want my dad to get in trouble." And they went quiet. What is it, Janet? You're saying ref, place called Area 50. I remember my friend said he found something. Fair point, Andrew. You're very smart in the case. I don't feel smart, but I appreciate that, Danny. Cami, great point. Just because you don't know them person to person doesn't mean you don't know someone. Typically, written communication shows more true colours than the fake personal interactions. What is it, Janet? In capital letters. Area 50. Do you mean Area 51? Ooh, some people have disappeared. I mean, could I add on to what Cami's getting at there? I mean, it's good points, of course. Just see if I can analyse it any further. Just because you don't know them person to person doesn't mean you don't know someone. I mean, there might be some times where you might know someone better as a stranger than you know someone who's familiar. Oh, we're getting a bit deep there. Danny, if Kenny actually staged his disappearance, why would he do it? Because he loved his house and his girlfriend, and why would he take the risk to lose both in order to stage it? Don't worry, Strawberry, we can get much deeper than that. If Kenny Vich staged his disappearance, why would he do it? Well, supposedly he had money issues. He was going to lose his house anyway, so what did he have to lose? He wasn't really in a relationship with Sharon Pilgrim, the girlfriend, because I don't know if you remember, Danny, but Sharon Pilgrim, which, oh no, there was other people calling him Sharon. Oh, Sharon, Sherry, Sharon. It must be how people pronounce it. I call them Sharon because that's how it's spelled, Pilgrim. And they regarded themselves as Kenny's girlfriend. I am Kenny's girlfriend. How can you be? Kenny's no longer alive. You're his ex, no longer, technically. But then in the past, Kenny was wording it as, "Oh, we're just friends." And then at another point, "Oh, we're together." All over the place, the relationship status, if you look at it, it's a bit wonky. Sharon Pilgrim, mental health professional in the mental health field, and basically says to Kenny, "Don't pull a Robin Williams suicide on me." Oh, and the mention of Kenny in the past, "If I go anywhere to end one's life, then, no one's going to find me." And Sharon's like, "Yeah, okay." Not enough intervention, and maybe you can't always do too much, you can't take over. I know Sharon mentions something about, well, we would have this rule where if Kenny doesn't contact me after so many days, then I would presume something bad's happened, then I would take some kind of action. Is that enough? Who knows? I think my hair's getting worse. Cami, meaning face-to-face interactions. Ooh. I need to get back to that. Right, so I'll interpret what Cami's getting at there. I might not be on the same wavelength, but what I would say personally, Cami, as much as other humans like to downplay interactions online, oh, it's not good enough, oh, it's not real, oh, it's not face-to-face, you don't actually know that person. They could be different in real life. Oh yeah, well, what was that rule of thumb? What general public like to say? Well, when it's real and face-to-face in real life, it's genuine, it's good, it's more positive. And when it comes to online, people are very dark and negative, and they can be anything that they want to be without fear of consequences, so they will push the boundaries and do worse and do more. Well, isn't it better to see that than to see them in real life in a cowardly way? They're all nice and innocent. And then down the line, when they are more comfortable, if you make them comfortable, if they're comfortable around you, it means they can lower their guard. And lowering your guard or their guard can reveal something very dark within them. That when they're in the presence of you or some people, they're treating you as in an online situation where they can do anything, be anything without fear of consequences. They know they've got you. They know you got you wrapped their finger. They can do anything. So if you see the darkness of people online, as bad as it is, at least you're seeing people for what they really are. You will get alternative exceptions, though, where some people could appear more nice online than in real life just because they might be more confident online than face to face, which is a completely different scenario. But to see the darkness in someone is better to see it first than the positives. If you see the positives in someone first, it's a lot harder to accept the darkness within them afterwards. Because once you see the positives, if they're good enough, you might become comfortable. You might become okay with that. But then when the darkness comes on in, it might not bother you as much. You might think and lean more back towards the positives. Well, the dark, oh, the nasty, oh, they're a bit verbal, but at least they're this, at least they're nice, at least they can be nice at times. But if you just saw darkness from the beginning and then later saw positives, you probably would be a bit more strict. But you can't control how people are going to react, and you can't control who you're going to come across. Shit, I better catch up with the comments now. Cami, right, Strawberry, in my opinion, not everyone holds this skill, but some do, and in my experience, Andrew does process that ability. Well, I appreciate that then. It's good of you to say. Danny, I just finished my GCSEs last year, and it was good for me. You probably did yours like 10 years ago. So, Danny, that's good that you've done yours. Hopefully it worked out. I did my GCSEs in 2015, and I had about 26 exams, if not more. Torture. Strawberry says real life can be worse. Real life can also be worse because it's harder to escape from people than as online. Online, you can just hit the block button. Of course, people can still find you and do all bad stuff, but you got more tools online than in real life, because in real life, you're restricted to what you can do. You can't just shoot someone. You can't just kick the shit out of someone, because unfortunately, even if you're in the right, even if you're innocent, you'll still get in trouble and arrested. And then the real bad person can just walk away. And there's other facts as well to take in mind. Cami, exactly the point I was trying to make. You communicated it way better than I think the keyboard and distance actually makes their true colors more apparent. Definitely. All comes down to, as long as there's no consequences, you can show that real true side of you, positive or negative. Danny, 2015, bro, I didn't even know why the moon was following me when I was going home. My GCSEs went well. How about yours? What was mine? Was it 6 Bs, 4 Cs? I think the rankings or the gradings have changed over time from back then to now. I think now it's done in numbers or something. I wouldn't know because I'm not a teacher. Cami, that is such a good point. Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate that. What else is there? The only dodgy moments. I'm just gonna put the light on for a second, then I'll continue on with the points made. Okay, just give me a second. I need to stretch anyway. I'm not talking to the wall. Ignore the wall. Well, not ignore the wall. Acknowledge the strawberry. I don't keep touching it. Yeah. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The only problematic part when it comes to the online aspect is when people catfish. And sometimes it's not even catfishing, it's just people using an alternative profile picture. When people will use a profile picture of a real human, but it's not of them. Drink some water too. There we go. Oh shit, I look worse with the light on. That's good. Happy to hear. Do you have a side hustle or another job, or do you do YouTube? At the moment, I do YouTube. I mean, technically, I tried doing TikTok, but the requirements for that, oh, on TikTok, I think you need 10,000 followers or 10 million views or likes or something. Very crazy. Brenda, behind a keyboard or in real life, our actions and words do have consequences, whether good or bad. There'll be many little sub-factors as well. I do remember it was by degenerates, so it was okay. So with the console Xbox, like Xbox Live, I remember when I was younger, I was on there, I was playing on Xbox, and I'd get a couple of messages from people with profile pictures of females, but almost like near perfect profile pictures in terms of the appearance. Still real people, and before AI came in, it would have been like models and copied and pasted from online on the internet. Basically, it was men, males in general, that would use a false profile picture of a female with a female username, use lots of hearts and emojis, and say, hey, big boy, would you like to check me out or check my link or follow me? Just so they would get free followers and gain lots of friends on their page and then appear all popular. Some people in games would use fake profile pictures and fake female usernames just to gain more attention and gain free gifts and rewards in game because other people would bow down in submissive ways. I didn't fall for it because I could tell at the time it was degenerates, it was males pretending to be females, and it was embarrassing. Danny, I abused AI, you naughty boy, for my business exams in college. I got the highest in the country with no revision. AI is taking over. I use AI to do every single homework. Oh my God. Well, I've not had any positive encounters with AI myself because I've been on the receiving end of over 50 AI deep fake videos of me. There was 29 made of me on one channel. They were all removed. But then as for the other one within the Presgrove case, continuously doing it, and YouTube does absolutely nothing about it. YouTube actually wants proof from me, even though they know of my channel and who I am. Embarrassing, really embarrassing, that personally. But is Cami still about? If there's any other points, Cami, you want to talk about or highlight, or for me to give my thoughts on, feel free to leave a comment, or Sam. But important points mentioned. What else was there? I mean, I would argue, I remember there was one time in one session or class where they said, oh, we got to do a debate. I was given the task to say why online's so bad, and I'm thinking, I can't really say much because at the end of the day, I've come across people that are given more of a damn about me compared to people who I actually know in real life at the time, face to face. It says a lot. So it does vary. Can't give any specificness with that. In the meantime, though, I do need to focus in on the Presgrove situation because of it being a live stream about the case. Actions about my sub. You do not know me, but my actions on my sub speak for themselves. Yes, excellent spite. Your actions of, oh, it's a good idea to welcome Warlike Raf in, will create a custom categorization tab so you can upload your own videos and share them. You've gone quiet. We encourage you, Raf, to keep on going, keep on posting. But by the way, Raf, we're going to take your videos down. We're going to delete because of, you know, giving in to peer pressure, and as well because we just don't think it's discussion worthy enough. Yeah, it's really good mentality to have. So yeah, it does speak volume, but not in the right way, Jen Zakuda. It does not speak volume in a positive way whatsoever. That's the reality there. And then, oh, so Strawberry, it continues on because now, as of today, Jen had to say, Warlike Raf, you are banned again, and all your accounts that you try to make or your minions make will also be banned. There isn't any information on my Reddit that isn't on the Facebook groups already, so isn't not even necessary for you to be a member here, especially when you continuously slander and lie about me on your videos. The only thing that I'm continuously talking about is how incompetent your mindset is when it comes to how you run the Reddit page, and you think it's a good idea to take posts down because it's deemed as not discussion worthy enough when it is about the case. But you think it's a good idea to give in to peer pressure and let other things crumble. But you think it's a good idea for archive stuff that is on the Facebook page, which at a later point is not, but is on Reddit, and then it's not on Reddit, and then it's absolutely nowhere. Good job. Yes. The whole purpose of the Reddit page was to get stuff from Facebook, which was lost long ago. Bring it back up on Reddit. Oh, now it's no longer available on Reddit. Old links or URL links or anything like that, click on anything saved to the tabs or favorites of an old post to go on it. Sorry, this post no longer exists. Sorry, this post no longer exists. Where is it then? It's been removed. Great job. Now, the difference is with these and them and me is that my stuff that was removed wasn't by my choice. It was ripped from me and I did nothing wrong in the first place. So we've got that there. To say you are banned again. Enhancing on the word again. Oh yeah, because the first time round it was for a good reason, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. The first time I was banned, there was no reason for it. But to say you're banned again, it's as if the second time I've been banned is just as severe as the first time I've been banned, but it was for two separate reasons. And what makes it very interesting is you got Jen Zakuda banning me, but then you've got a person called Accomplished Week that wanted to unban me. So there's people internally on that same page that aren't in line with one another. So that's really good. We've got great microcosms all over the place, really highlighting and supporting the consistent nature of within the case of inconsistencies, incompetence, and not in sync with one another. Definitely a good reflection, of course. Strawberry, it would be a great idea for her to stop talking bollocks. Could prove difficult, that, to be honest. What else do we have? To say that you're banned and on all your accounts that you try to make. The word try. Please do explain, Jen. Why do you think I would be desperate to create another Reddit account just to be able to have a chance at joining your page? I would rather chew on extremely long hair than try creating an alternative account to join that Reddit page. I have no use for that Reddit page, and I haven't for quite some time. And it is a fact that Warlike Raf single-handedly kept that page active for a few months at a time when no one else was posting. And in the end, all for nothing, I guess. But there we go. So, and the other bit. And, banned if any of your minions make the chance of joining, they'll be banned. Minions. Does it look like I have minions? For almost 9-10 fucking years, I have been a one-man army. And at the times of when there have been other people present, they are not minions. It's a collective conscience and group of people that can independently think for themselves, that actually have standards and a level of common sense and competence, unlike other communities and channels out there. Simple as. And yes, with time, we'll come across dodgy and problematic people, but through natural selection and cleansing, they eventually disperse and piss off, right? So, I don't think we're going to get minions running about all over the place. I don't think we're going to get me either, because I'm not that desperate over there, right? Anything else? Not even necessary for you to be a member on here. Well, at least we made that clear. Continuous slander. Now I've just clearly highlighted continuous incompetence by some out there. Now, do we have any additional posts about? I'm not too sure personally. I could try and check if there's any additional posts on Facebook. If anyone does have questions or if anyone wants me to talk about some themes or topics, Strawberry, if there's any questions you had or anything you wanted to learn about me, or you wanted me to give my thoughts on certain situations in life, or like with the online aspect, anyone, feel free to do so, and I'll give you my thoughts. I'm just gonna check on Facebook now just to see if there's anything. Oh, I forgot to say as well, I don't know if they're still about, but shout out to Linda, because I do remember Linda was present earlier. But I forgot to mention their name. Oh, bollocks. Why is it in a bloody different language? Oh, that's great. We're in German language on Facebook. How have I got into German? What am I doing? Brenda, multiple accounts, fake accounts, cover-up crew, vile attack, just to name a few words repeated over and over again. Exactly. Fake accounts, fake accounts, fake accounts. But where are they? Granted, it's been proven, Brenda, that we have come across fake accounts, as in on my channel, and we know where they come from. Someone that has a baseball cap the wrong way and the hairs ran off in a different direction. Obvious fake accounts because they were created 1 day ago, a month ago. Holly Yates, fake account. Some blue one, fake account. A fake Joyce Bergow account. Very obvious because you can tell by the language, the wording, and the degenerative behaviour. Caden, not allowed at group discussion with cops is all you need to know. You mean as in Caden not welcomed because he's just not that high of interest or linked with the case? But all I would say is, if Caden was given that separate, isolated treatment, would the same apply to Brylan Sweat, Isaac Rojas, Mikey Lair, considering that those people were with Caden at times and also left at the same time, supposedly? And storylines can be compared without then creating one. It appears he avoided getting interviewed. Is that so? University? Nope. And storylines can be compared without creating them. Give me a second. Try and... oh my god, what the... why is it in German? Is everything going to be in German? Ah, it's down at the bottom, isn't it? That's okay then. All under control. It's getting very warm. What time are we on? Take a drink. Thank you. I will. 5 minutes ago, what's this one? Oh god, what's this one? What is it with these like super long posts and comments? And previously it was quite concise, but now people are posting like really long paragraphs. I think the Jan Fiorillo effect has taken full impact on people in general. Am I sweating? Not too much. Oh, I just want present. Welcome. You will ask about UFOs and stuff. Rumor debunked. Okay. See, the thing is, there's a lot of talking and not enough about the case itself. What I mentioned as a prediction at the time of when I technically was telling people off, but I was given the reality check that was needed. When I did that video, and I'm sure people will remember because it was quite an intense one. I think it was the one where I was looking at the camera for 10 minutes and I did not blink. But what I said then is exactly what's happened now. I have predicted it. What I'm seeing on Facebook now, collectively, for the most part of it, is exactly what I predicted. So that's ended up happening. But a bit more of a key or relevant one by Andrea Chubrov says, rumor debunked. I wish people who screamed rumors on his page would be just as loud and quick to clear up rumors they found out to be false for almost 2 years. Repeat about Noah. Okay. Sam. In regard to in the past, and it's been on and off since. The heavy focus on Jack Newton begging Noah to come back to the party. That's like what was agreed upon at some point. But was it really a level of desperation? I mean, it's not been interpreted as desperation as in Jack desperately wanting Caden to be at the party, even though Alicia had worded it that Caden was getting multiple calls from Jack. Oh, well, that's just deemed as enthusiastic, but the moment when Jack calls Noah once or twice, that's deemed as desperate. Seems to be double standards there, doesn't there? I just want no UFO or alien connections in Presgrove so far. No. Well, no actual... Well, not direct, only that David, or is it Paul? David Paulides ended up making a link, but it was more so to plug his book. By the way, buy my book, along the lines of that. The only alien reference I just want, the only UFO alien connection is that through me covering this case, I have come across an intergalactic strawberry which still lives on the planet Mars. And to be able to reach someone of that presence and magnitude, I'm still trying to figure that out. But that's the only thing I could conclude at the moment. Justin Wright, only very recently now claims he was given bad information about the begging Noah to come back to the party 20 months later. Yeah, and if it's only recent, it's this behaviour I'm seeing with some people. Whether it be passing the buck, passing the blame, responsibility onto somebody else. Ref may be an alien hybrid. Ooh, maybe. Interesting. Right, so a comment at some point by Justin Roy, and personally I don't know when it was posted. It says 14 hours ago, but I don't know if that means present time or in the past. Justin had said Noah was called by Jack to see if he was coming back Sunday, as in like afternoon time. Not sure how many times called, but Noah's phone records would, not that they have, but would be able to tell how many times he was called and texted to come back. I'm not sure about being begged to come back. Got some wrong information on that. Well, if you did, was it ever cleared up properly? Because it doesn't seem like it with others. But he was definitely invited back out there a few times by his best friend. I wish it wouldn't say BF, because when I see BF, I keep thinking of boyfriend. Bloody hell. Not sure why Jack Newton would have to invite him back out there and provide a ride for him as well. Not sure why Jack would have to invite him back. Well, because it's your best friend and you're looking out for your other best friend. You want them there. If there's someone you like or someone you get on well with, and you're doing something, it might be better spent together, hanging out together, having fun, laughing. And if there's distance between the two, you might feel that distance. You might feel, I don't want to be missing out. What else do we have? Could be something, could be nothing, but it's definitely odd to me personally. You also got a ride from someone that didn't even stay at the party, especially Gage Jessen. I've always wondered why Jack Newton, the best friend, just didn't go pick Noah up. Well, the thing is, Noah best friends with Jack. Jack best friends with Noah. Caden best friends with Jack. Jack Newton supposedly best friends with Caden. And Jack, from what Alicia said, Jack had contacted Caden multiple times to come down to the party. Saturday evening, supposedly. And eventually Caden agreed. A lift down? No. But Caden said in one of the interviews that it was agreed upon that Jack promised to pay for Caden's travel, as in refueling. Never happened then. So what does that mean? Jack was willing to pay for Caden's expenses down to the party, getting there, but Jack didn't provide anything to Noah. Interesting. But for Justin to say, I got some wrong information on that about the begging situation. If you ever get wrong information, as soon as you get clarity, clear it up as soon as possible, and I don't think people have done. Do you have type O negative blood? I don't know what blood I have. All I know is when I bleed, and it's not that often obviously, but if I do bleed, or if I was scratched, or if I was bitten, The blood goes very dark red quick, and it's very strong. The taste. My blood tastes very strong. George, Justin Roy's just scared that Noah's case is going to be getting expensive for him. This case is more confusing than Dylan Rounds. It is, but in fairness, it will be more confusing because there's just many more people involved. With the Dylan Rounds case, as confusing as that was a small community. Oh, hold on, what do we have there? Danny, what case do you think is the hardest to find out? Which one is the most complicated? Dylan Rounds, it was an environment and you had to try and find the body in a massive area. High-end equipment was used, everything, still could not locate the body. Few breadcrumbs, and me, I pinpointed the body. There we go. Pinpointed it after it was actually found, but in terms of it wasn't publicly mentioned, I delivered it before everyone, publicly speaking. But in terms, that technically more difficult as in trying to find the body because you were working off nothing. One had the key, but Brenner wouldn't give it until later, and that took from 2022 to 2024. So you might as well measure and gauge that with the Presgrove case. Presgrove case is more of a headache. Not that I get them, but can be more of a headache just because there's many more people talking and many more inconsistencies. So it's like double the workload, double the learning. Sorry, I'll just catch up now. Strawberry, lol, no, nothing that special. Oh, for fuck's sake, Strawberry, your blood is special, isn't it? Tiger blood. No, Strawberry only has tiger bread, but Strawberry's blood, I think, is pretty good. But what's that? Raf, high platelets. Oh, high platelets I've got within me. Well, I've got something. Aidan Clun. I've never really looked into that, but yeah, you could say that's more complex because it's to do with in the open, rural, could be anywhere. Needle in a haystack. Penny Lynn, welcome back. I'm here now. Hello, hun. More updates. Thank you, thank you. I have to watch from the beginning. Take your time, no rush. Strawberry, me being an alien, something lol. But the only reason why you're an alien is because you're out of this world, and it's, how many people are like you? No one. 1 in a million. I think 1 in a million is probably a bit too basic. Probably 1 in a billion. No, 1 in a trillion. Yeah. Danny, it's been 10 years. I don't think Kenny gets found. Chances are getting low. But you can also acknowledge what else could be found along the way. Do you find Kenny first? Do you find a cave first? Aiden completely disappeared. Completely disappeared. Ty is still looking for him. Oh no. Not that person. Oh no. The one that looks like Thanos with the massive chin. The one that almost looked like they came through a hedge backwards and started complaining about Warlike Ref, coming up with all kinds of nicknames about me. The one that said, oh, by the way, I'm leaving this case for the next 2 months. 2 days later, I'm back complaining. The one that supported other creators out there in unnecessary ways, which didn't do much good for the case. Oh, we got Truth for Justice now present. Welcome. 2221. Ooh. How's your hands, Strawberry? How's the nails? They look healthy. Red hand, of course. It's always red-handed. Yeah. Yeah, what's the underpart like? Yeah, smooth as usual. Well, there you go. Shout out to Strawberry's hand for making an appearance in the live stream. There we go. You can wave if you want. Got a very long arm, haven't you? Dylan was partially buried only 1 mile away and nobody could find him. Exactly. Do we have any additional points to add on here? Ooh. Well, the thing is, I just want that skinned cream. I think it's all under control there. Even if no skin cream is used naturally, soft anyway. Well, no, I didn't ask call. Let's plant a seed. Do we have? I don't think there's really anything else to be mentioning. Oh God, what does Justin Roy say here? First of all, that's what I was told. Passing the blame on to somebody else. Well, I didn't say it. I didn't create it. It was somebody else. Oh, great. Second, both Noah and Jack's phone records would clear that up. Would. How many years on are we? Not yet. Strawberry Ref, why was Dylan Rounds killed? So I'll try and summarize it, Strawberry. So basically, if you used to base it off any red flags in the past, I believe it was maybe winter time of 2021, roughly around that, when Dylan Rounds, Justin Rounds, the father, Brenner, the killer, Brenner's friend Don Hatley were all together at Dylan's father's workshop, working on a grain truck, when Dylan walked off and Dylan's father was in a different room listening into audio and CCTV. Basically, Brenner was talking about Dylan in a negative way, extreme jealousy and hatred. Not that was the be-all and end-all, but, building away, eating things up. Brenner, the killer, had a long, extensive criminal past of hurting people, shooting people, wounding people, threatening behavior. An absolute disaster. If you knew of that person, you would not want them around your son, daughter, etc. But the parents never looked into or did a background check on Brenner. And maybe you shouldn't have to, but if your son's out there in the middle of nowhere at a young age as well, you could put a foot down or two. But the father didn't want Dylan to be out there, but still had to respect the wishes because Dylan was of an adult age, fair enough. But, in 2020, a year before that or so, when Dylan had been working with Brenner because they worked together in a way, or Brenner worked for Dylan, and they got some pigs, and they were placed opposite Justin Round's grandparents' house or something without consent or without talking it through with him. Led to some conflict, and then Justin, Dylan's father, spoke to Brenner in a certain way that Brenner didn't like, and then Brenner muttered the words when Dylan Rounds was about, as in, I'm going to kill that guy. Dylan heard Brenner threaten his own father and say, I'm going to kill your father, basically. Dylan brushed it off and said he's just an ass. Didn't think much of it. And Justin Rounds didn't really react either. A death threat. Nothing. So you tie all that up together. Then comes the 28th of May, 2022. And, as for the timing of it all, it's hard to remember it all personally because I've not done it for a while. But at 6:51 in the morning, I think it was, past Sun Tunnel, heading north towards the grain shed property at the gate, Dylan Brown's taking the grain truck to the grain shed to protect the seed, his farm work, his material equipment from getting wet and ruined because it was going to rain. So at 6:51, made a call to his grandmother, Karen Rounds, about what he was going to do, and he'll call back afterwards when he's done. Was it 6:58 in the morning? Then Dylan contacted Brenner down at the property to say what was going to happen. No call. Maybe Brenner didn't answer. Who knows? Somehow got past the gate. It was flimsy. Could have folded it over. Maybe left it open. Drove down. 7:03, the next time stamp. No calls made, but 7:03, the last time stamp of when Dylan was in possession of his own phone. Attempted or successfully parked the grain truck in the grain shed. Then after 7:03, next timestamp 7:27, and that's in possession of Brenner, the killer, the phone. Between 7:03 to 7:27 is when the murder took place, and down the line it was found that Dylan was shot multiple times in the skull by a firearm, and supposedly that firearm was seen in the unreleased footage at a later point of Brenner in the trailer around 7:27 onwards or so, cleaning a firearm, which would turn out to be from the time-lapse video that was retrieved or found by the forensic team of November of 2022, but came publicly, in 2024 onwards through files and stuff, and properly released in 2025. Motive behind it all, possibly. Brenner drunk, Brenner hangover, in a mood, reacts badly to people at times, very defensive, protective of his horse. Dylan comes on down without much notice. Brenner petty about that, overreacts as usual. First thing that comes to his mind, violence, hurt people, whatever. Dylan may have backed into the grain shed gate, which may have been closed to protect the horse, possibly caused damage, caused a racket, a noise, maybe, because it was damaged when we saw footage later on when people explored the area. If that did happen, it may have startled Brenner. Brenner may have come on out, face to face with Dylan, shot him or whatever. Protectiveness of the horse, protectiveness of the property, damage, got triggered by it. Maybe Dylan said the wrong word and Brenner got petty about that, didn't like the way he was spoken to, so reacted. Hopefully Strawberry, that explains it. I tried summarising, was it 2 to 3 years worth of information there? Wasn't too bothered about the death threat, I guess. You're welcome, Strawberry. I mean, I do have a playlist on the case. I've got 499 videos on the Dylan Rounds case. I need to do one more to make it 500. How many times was he called on the phone? Any mention of Justin anymore? No, nothing there. Okay. Do we have anything else? Not much there. Any additional responses anywhere else? I can't check that. That's unfortunate. If anyone has any additional questions to do with the case or other side stuff, feel free if you want. I appreciate your questions, Strawberry. You always ask good questions. Always look forward to your questions in general. Not doing too bad for time. I might do a countdown shortly just because, so it doesn't drag on too much, personally. Yeah, there's not really much else going on there. Of course, I've still got my own videos to do. I've got those notes to make and summaries, which I'll get to properly. I don't think anyone was able to get an interview with Brenner. I guess not from the looks of it. There might have been some attempts, but didn't work out. We had some fake people along the way, like Brookie. Oh boy, what a disaster that was. Okay. Oh, Jeremiah, random thought. Kenny disappeared with the Rainbow family, also known as modern-day nomad hippies. Well, I've never really thought about that or knew of them, but who knows? I mean, Kenny Vich was into nature. See, it does differ from 2012 to 2014. A lot can change in that time within someone's mind and everything in between. But Kenny did originally say and preach about it online that the world and life is so sacred and precious and a playground, it should be appreciated to the best. So what, in 2014 he goes against all that? Or he does find his playground and he explores elsewhere? You remember Brookie? Good memory. Problematic times. But yes, Strawberry. Don't know if you knew Strawberry, but I think I found your little doll laying about. My goodness, it needs cleaning, doesn't it? Is that supposed to be of my face? Yeah, that's yours. Yeah, definitely. You can have it back if you want. Okay, I don't know how I came across it, but there we go. Even the lips as well, almost accurate. Look at his lips. Look at them. Beady eyes. Green eyes. I see what you're doing, Strawberry. Trying to resemble the inner Hulk coming out of me. Half angry. Rebecca Bailey. Shout out to Rebecca Bailey. Another live. I'm blessed. Hallelujah. Yeah, I'm talking real loud, Rebecca, so you can actually hear the audio this time. But yeah, Strawberry, you can have this right away. I like how you stitched around the outline of it. Very nice. Is it quite in proportion, though? I don't know. Crystal clear today, exactly how it should be. Strawberry, can you put your hand out for me? I know it's a bit heavy. Yeah? Come on, Strawberry. Don't be playing about. You can handle me with care. Yeah? Yeah? There you go. Well, at least you've got it back now. Hi, guys. I was part of the case a lot last year. Yeah, I do remember. I don't know if it was Rebecca Bailey, but I'm sure... oh, no, I actually remember now. Ooh, watching silently. Shh. I think, Rebecca, I might have done a video where I was looking at comments out of context, or when people were leaving some comments like Beauty Gurumo, Strawberry, and some other people, and I was reading it out in a certain tone of voice, and I'm sure I did like something to do with Rebecca as well. But I think, did I do like some kind of 50 Shades thing or something? But not literally, just the language. What was that? Ref, were you doing naughty things with my doll? If I was doing naughty things with your doll, then that technically means that I'm doing naughty things to myself. So if I'm touching the doll, that means I'm touching myself? Yeah, I don't think so, Strawberry. I thought that's your speciality. No, I just came across this. I think it must have fallen from the sky, you know? You're from outer world, aren't you? You must have dropped it. It's fallen through space, it's fallen through the sky, and it landed in my palms. And I'm looking at a small representative of myself. Needs a little bit more packing, to be honest. It looks a little bit thin, not as muscular as I hoped for, but you know, a doll's not supposed to be big, is it? Well, then you get the life-size one. And yeah. And we've got this one, I don't know where that came from. Interesting. I did, and I was listening to it in the traffic. Yes, Rebecca. And I remember that response. I remember that voice that I did. It was something like, Rebecca watches silently amidst all the traffic and chaos, packed so full, yet completely silent within the car, gripping that wheel, grabbing the clutch and gear stick, wiggling it about with frustration. Yet nobody will ever know what's going on in Rebecca's car, because everybody's too focused on what's ahead. And speaking of which, John Doe shows up. Do you still have the SpongeBob doll? I don't think so. I think it got a bit soggy. What's up, guys and gals? What time is it over there? The time it currently is 22:35. We should give Ref a thumbs up. Oh, like, oh, thumbs up, yeah. Oh, as a reference, well, it's not really much of a reference, but like how some people say about certain videos, how they perform, and people like to make it all about, oh, it's the case, that's how you grew the channel, that's how you got the most views. No, the most views I've got on videos is to do with music and a horn. For example, this one instrument has led to getting over 286,000 views on a video. This one instrument has led to my music once being featured in a small Indian film. So, not too bad. And you wanted to know what it sounded like. If we want to test the audio quality, as like Rebecca would say, is it loud enough or not? Some people say you've got a spit in the hole. I just simply blow into it because wet mouth or dry mouth, I can still make the sounds. I do have a few other items, different ones, but I can't turn it down. It's too noisy as well. I'd probably get banging next door. So I know you've been too noisy. Normally do it daytime. I still have unreleased music. I've got over 40 unreleased things dating back to 2018, 2019. I've still not got around to doing those videos on YouTube. Hopefully I get time to do it. Jeremiah, Dylan is an unfortunate case. What, Dylan Rounds? Paranoid tweaker who saw Dylan as a threat to his freedom. Are you talking about Kurt Wadsworth there? Anyway, credit and shout out to everyone that has remained watching this live stream. If you wanted to rewind back more so to the no Presgrove stuff earlier on, feel free to do so. It was easier to do my response to this whole Reddit situation via this rather than a normal video because of just the flow of it being a lot better. I am going to do a countdown now before I go and rest and stretch. So I'll do a countdown and then just see if there's any final points to mention. Any final questions or anything anyone wants to say. Any roars, growls, meows, whatever. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Raf, tons of Caden does no wrong with the new series. Oh no. 18. Hey Kitty. How are you? How are you? Jeremiah, share your videos. Appreciate that. That's good to know. Oh, do the pairs. There we go. Sorry, it was in one ear. It's because the speaker's on each side or so. Perfect. Do I need to re-up my membership? Only if you want to, John. You don't have to if you don't want. I can give out gifted membership. I don't know if it does get given at random, but I will do it the next live premiere that I do, and hopefully you get it because it's done at random. If you could have a choice who you get to give it to, then that would have been better because I would have given it to you. Ooh, Jeremiah, meow. Reacting to the cats as well. I'll do the other sound as well. There we go. There's the wild cat. I have been to national rainbow gatherings. They're a lot different than the Deadheads. And then the other one is not the purr, but more the meow, but I can't always get that out. Because I did make a certain sound, that's what got the attention of the ginger cat for the very first time, and that's what seemed to start that process. But I think I did like an inwards cat sound instead of the... I think I did. Something like that, like a really high pitch. Oh, did it sound good? I look like so hopeless when I'm making that sound. At least it doesn't mess up my facial expressions. Okay. What other ones were there? Was there another sound? I think I was going to mention another sound or do another sound, but I've forgotten it on the spot, which is a bit annoying. I'll do the sound now, Strawberry. I have no clue what sound it is, but I'll do it anyway, and then you tell me what does it sound like. It's a very unique one, and it's because of the throat. I have to squeeze my throat and it makes the noise. Okay, I'll do it now. Is it loud enough? I don't know. Did it pick up on camera? I don't know what it would be classified as. What did it sound like, Strawberry, out of interest? It's just like really squeezing the throat inwards. A small monkey. I'll take that. Actually, it sounds like I'm swallowing, which is a bit... You should have made a community post about doing a live stream. Well, the thing is, I just won. I did do that, not last time, but the time before, but less people showed up. The last 2 times I've done a live stream without telling anyone, more people have shown up, so. Can't remember the name. Could it be not Marmite, but a Mar something monkey, a spider monkey. I don't know what other monkeys there are. Indian monkeys. I can do like a generic monkey sound, but it's too loud to be doing right now. Oh, did I get it right? Which one? The Marmite one. Marmite. Just call it that instead. Or was there a howler monkey? There's a lot of monkeys basically, isn't there? Why, am I a bit of a monkey as well? You need a social media promoter. Oh no. Marmizette. Yeah. Oh, there we go. I'm a marmozette monkey. Woohoo. Guinea pig. Probably like hairy monkey as well. Oh my god, cheeky monkey. Stop. Am I a bit of a cheeky monkey? Do you want an egg, Strawberry, if you're hungry? Oh, shit. I always drop it. I'm very clumsy. Where was I with the countdown? I completely forgot. Ooh, am I? What animal would you be then? Oh, you want it? Okay. Open wide. Actually, no, the last time I said that, you said, piss off, Andrew. Okay. You take... Sorry. Your hand. Are the doll's fallen? Ow. Ow, delayed effect. The doll fell, and the head hurts. Have you been poking pins on that doll recently? Right. Number 1 rule, Strawberry, whenever anything is in your hand, keep it still, okay? Nice firm grip. Whenever something's placed on your palm, grip it tight, yeah? We don't want any accidents. Don't be dropping it. Don't be spilling it. Don't be smashing it on the ground. Take it away. There we go. Close enough. I mean, there are video ideas on the case which I can do and follow up through, so I will do that. But besides that, I'm going to stretch shortly. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. So I'm going to leave it there. Take care. As with a live stream, you'll be able to catch up on this when it's processed. You can always look back at it. We'll go from there. Try and do a normal video tomorrow if there is time, but I might not have much time tomorrow with being out for the day. Maybe the day after, possibly. just see how things are and the weather as well, because that can be a pain. So shout out to those that did stick about and watch, and my name's Wally Raff. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.